tuning into this edition of Positively Montana. I'm Hallie Schwinnard. Each week we travel the state looking for stories and people that inspire. From robotics clubs to cancer support, let's begin with a cultural and educational event that takes place each year. It's hosted by the Blackfeet Community College, focusing on land stewardship, cultural revitalization. The event allows community members to connect with the land and their heritage.
On the Blackfeet Reservation, Blackfeet youth took to the skies to learn more about their culture and their connection to the land. It's all a part of Blackfeet Community College's annual Days of the Piikani.
The focus of this year's celebration is the Blackfeet people's connection to their traditional lands.
We face a lot of challenges as Piikani people, and so we want our younger generations to be those future leaders and voices for the voiceless. We're hoping that will give them a better idea of the beauty of the area they live in, give them a sense of pride and responsibility to take care of it.
To bring that lesson to life, cultural leaders and pilots like Bruce Gordon, the founder of EcoFlight, who teamed up to give students a rare view, airplane flyovers across the reservation.
You know, I always feel we're contributing to conservation efforts and the spirit of people on the landscape. And so I still really get a kick out of it. It's a lot of people to fly today, so we got to keep going.
Yes, my heart is pounding because I am scared of heights, but I am going to overcome that today.
For some students like Donna, this was their first time flying in a plane. And when they stepped off, they were all smiles.
Different point of view, and it was awesome. It was beautiful. I could see all of our rivers. And then got a little history lesson while I was in there, so that was fun.
So if we can foster that next generation of advocates, professionals, educators, that's what we're trying to do here today.
The Days of the Piikani celebration continues at the Blackfeet Community College through Thursday the 25th.
I would just encourage people to come partake in Days of Piikani and come and listen to stories of our past. They can come and engage with song and dance and activities with horse culture, outdoor camping, storytelling.
All focused on strengthening the bond between the Blackfeet people and their ancestral homelands. In Browning, Pita Sapuaki, Brianna Juneau, MTN News.
Native American powwows hold deep cultural, spiritual, and social importance for Indigenous communities. They are sacred, living traditions that sustain identity, strengthen community, and celebrate resilience.
It's so much more than just an experience. It's a complete immersion.
Hundreds of Helena area students gathered for the 26th annual Last Chance Community Powwow to engage in Indigenous culture.
It helps the students recognize and have respect for the traditions that have always been here for many years.
Tribes from across the state and surrounding areas as far as Canada performed grass, fancy, and jingle dress dancing that filled the fairgrounds and students with excitement.
I really like the drumming, how it vibrates, the sound it makes. It's really makes my ears tingle.
I think it's really cool how they dance different, all that.
From as young as toddlers all the way to elders, they showed off their handmade regalia, dances, and games. One of those dancers, 7-year-old Pisan Walking Child, has been participating in powwows since he was 1.
I dance because it's fun, and when I see everyone around me, it's like I'm moving, so I gave them high fives. I gave the school classes high fives when I was in there.
And as for the students witnessing this celebration of culture, their teachers hope they always have an appreciation for those who came before.
Here in Montana, we would be doing a disservice if we did not immerse our students in the culture of the First Peoples of this beautiful state.
Now the powwow will run through Sunday and is open to the public with food, performances, and vendors. Reporting in Helena, Madeline Heath, MTN News.
Some high-tech activities are going on at Belgrade High, where students have been working together to build robots. These clubs help students in so many ways, from hands-on learning to critical problem solving, not to mention teamwork, and leadership. Robotics clubs prepare students for the future, helping build skills for life.
This was last year's robot, Sebastian. He was designed to take the cube or the sample.
But Sebastian isn't just any robot. He was designed, assembled, and an integral part of the Belgrade robotics team. Last year, Sebastian and the team went over to Chicago for an international competition. And for Parker Pittman, one member of the team, he says the feeling was indescribable.
So many hours, so much work into this robot, and now it's working and it's going really well. It feels really good, like especially when we went to Chicago and we held our own. It felt really good to be there. We designed it to be modular, so like in here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's plates and stuff.
When the team arrived in Chicago, it took no time for the competition to heat up.
We were put into the first match of the competition with the world champions. So we got to play around with the world champions.
The team placed 18th at that international competition, and the Belgrade robotics team has been around for some time, producing students that have gone on to study engineering and other STEM fields, something that club advisor Rachel White is proud of.
2010 is when I first started the robotics club at the high school, and the intention was to be part of the FTC program. In Montana, about 40 FTC teams in the state. As far as I know, we're the only public school club that is doing it.
But like any team, you can't focus on the past victories because this year's competition has already kicked off.
Competition-wise, this year, I think it's going to be really... Getting the robot running is going to be really rough. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it in the end. Because once you get something down with this, I think it's basketball, really. It's robot basketball.
In Belgrade, Jane McDonald, MTN News.
Many seniors are looking towards the future and what life after high school could look like for them. One option, some consider going to college. But with finding the right fit and completing all those applications, the process can be a bit overwhelming. That's where the Montana University system comes in, traveling to schools, helping students apply.
Now that the school year is underway, many seniors are looking ahead, opening their computers and typing away on college applications.
It's very overwhelming, I think.
JC Coy is a senior at Capitol High School, and like many others in her grade, she's looking at what is next after graduation.
It's hard to know where you want to go and if you're sure about it, and like finances and stuff like that, so it is very stressful.
While this chapter of life is stressful for many students, one thing that can help is the Apply Montana portal through the Montana University system. Apply Montana is the central portal for 16 public colleges and universities in the state. It is completely free for students to use and allows them to fill out one application that can be used for any of the schools.
It really helps make college a possibility for all students.
Folks from the Montana University system are stopping by high schools around the Treasure State for Montana College Application Weeks to provide one-on-one support during the application process.
When I was applying to college, I was doing it at 8 p.m. at a coffee shop with Wi-Fi access with my mom's support. Having some professionals, some counselors on hand definitely would have made the process a lot less nerve-wracking and probably a lot faster as well.
At Capitol High School, seniors are using one of their class periods during the day to work on their next steps.
Having people to come in and help me, it keeps me motivated to get it actually done.
While Montana College Application Weeks wraps up on October 3rd, the Apply Montana portal is open and free to use for students whenever they wish to apply. Reporting in Helena, I'm Allie Kaiser, MTN News.
Still to come on this edition of Positively Montana, he's survived cancer and now he's helping support others through their fight. That story when we come back. Welcome back to Positively Montana. A cancer diagnosis can leave a family struggling, looking for answers, feeling isolated, and afraid of what comes next. For more than 2 decades, Cancer Support Community of Montana has been helping families find those answers and doing it free of charge to anyone who needs it. This year's Cancer Support Community Gala speaker is a man who survived cancer and benefited from the work of Cancer Support Community.
This is Cancer Support Community. Now, how can that little building hold an entire community? That's what Jordan Siemens thought the first time he came here.
First of all, I had no idea what they offered. You know, I thought it was maybe just a building where you came and told your story and people would listen to you, sort of thing. But then it was, you know, amazing when they start doing the barbecues and we come down and you see how many people show up for those and just how many other families are going through.
Now, cancer is definitely the commonality in this community. But when Jordan came here, he found inside there are many ways to help cancer take a back seat.
So it was really fun to come down and be a part of things like the barbecues. We also, you know, took part in, like my son and I love coming down and do their fly tying classes. And we've done, you know, yoga classes. We got to do Camp Make a Dream, which was an amazing, you know, multi-day event. So yeah, a lot more activities are offered here than I ever thought possible.
That's all fun and games, but the cancer is real and sometimes immediate.
You know, you're talking with people and you're having a great time, but at some point the cancer conversation does come up because everybody's, you know, a little curious and you know, more of like a supportive way. You know, either somebody's been through something similar to what you have and they might have some great recommendations on other people to reach out to or doctors. So it is a great networking tool. It's nice to come down here and, you know, meet, you know, everybody that's somehow been impacted by cancer and use this community that they built, you know, kind of to your advantage to get through things and be able to have that conversation with somebody that really does understand what you're going through.
Jordan notes that's where this little building becomes so important. The community inside has the support for those who are dealing with this, cancer, a topic only they can relate to.
Yeah, I agree that having, you know, this conversation with people, because you don't just go out on the street and be like, hey, have you had cancer? Can we talk for a minute? You know, it's like, you know that when you come in here, you're in a safe place. You are talking with people that, you know, are being directly impacted by this. And so there is those stories where you're able to share them, you know, easily with those people and, you know, hopefully find some good out of it. And
Jordan fought cancer, but not alone. His family had to fight it too. He notes their fight might have been much harder in some ways.
Being the cancer patient, you know, I obviously had a hard time physically and mentally, you know, getting through this, and it was really tough. But I really think it's almost tougher for, you know, your wife and your kids, and the way it impacts, how, you know, just how greatly it impacts your life of a family member that's sitting by your side and they really can't help. There's not much they can do besides just be there for you. They're not a doctor, they're not a nurse. They don't understand, you know, the treatments that you're going through that well. Yeah, having that support at the Cancer Support community is incredible. You know, just being able to say, hey, you know, this is what we're going through. Can you guys give us some guidance on what we should do? You know, even recommending counselors to talk to just to lift your spirits a little bit and just say, hey, this is okay. People have been through this and we're going to get through it.
Jordan shares his story this week at Cancer Support Community's annual gala, which is a major fundraiser for all those things that happen inside this little building in Bozeman. Chet Lehman, MTN News.
Parent Team is a Bozeman company helping families navigate divorce and reduce the stress divorce has on kids. Their goal is to help provide support so two-home families can thrive.
We don't want children to waste developmental energy on having to navigate an adult world. Like, where am I going to sleep tonight? What's my parenting time schedule? Who's making decisions about my curfew?
I spoke with Brandon and Jen, the founders of Parent Team, a local company creating children-first resources for families navigating divorce.
So it's a whole wraparound approach. You've got a certified divorce financial analyst who is the financial, the money, the property settlement, like helping walk them through all of those financial pieces. You have the therapist who's and mediator walking them through their parenting plan guide. And then you've got the child and family specialist who's there to hold the children.
Parent Team's goal is to support every family member throughout the entire divorce process.
Yeah, we're holding the entire family throughout it and not just aligning
with one individual within that process. We're holding all of you.
For more information on Parent Team, visit our website. In Bozeman, Gabrielle Cleveland, MTN News.
Excitement is simmering in Red Lodge. The 24th season premiere of Hell's Kitchen features one of Red Lodge's very own. It's a full circle moment for this hometown chef.
The small town of Red Lodge is widely considered a hidden gem in Montana. From the ski mountain to the local shops and even the food, there's plenty of reasons to visit. But one local chef is no longer going to be a secret, as he'll premiere in a national television show on Thursday. Food has always been a part of Chase Cardoza's plans.
I left with the goal of learning, becoming a better chef.
That's why the 35-year-old left his home state of Montana to pursue his culinary goals in Salt Lake City.
Really honing my craft and just doing amazing, phenomenal things with the goal of bringing it back to Montana.
And about 5 months ago, Cardoza got that chance, as the One-Legged Magpie, a popular restaurant in his hometown, was hiring.
We're really trying to push the boundaries in terms of food a little bit here in Montana and Red Lodge.
Owner Mike Porco says Cardoza's resume and connection to Red Lodge jumped off the page.
We really appreciated his enthusiasm, his passion for cooking, for food.
But what Porco didn't know is that Cardoza already had something big in the works.
He just kind of said, hey, by the way, I got this thing going on too.
That thing was Cardoza being featured on season 24 of Hell's Kitchen, a cooking show with world-renowned chef Gordon Ramsay.
I thought it was a scam. I thought it was a joke. I was like, oh, this isn't a real thing.
But what seemed too good to be true became Cardoza's reality, as he was selected as Montana's chef in the season dubbed the Battle of the States.
It's been a dream to not only get to showcase my state and really represent that, but also just to get to really show people why Montana is so special.
On Thursday at 7, the first episode will air, and it's safe to say many in the community will be closely watching.
The first thing that people ask me when I tell them I work at Magpie is, oh my gosh, are you excited for Hell's Kitchen?
This is a small, close-knit community. It's really cool to see how excited the community is too.
A community supporting one of their own.
Nothing really happens here, so it's really cool to know that like somebody that's local can go and do something that big and come home to tell everybody about it.
In Red Lodge, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
Still to come on this edition of Positively Montana, it's a historical landmark in Anaconda. Once used for copper processing, now a reminder of our past. More on its history when we come back. Welcome back to Positively Montana. It's been 45 years since the massive smelter in Anaconda shut down, but today it still has significance in the mining city. The 540-foot tall stack is the largest freestanding structure in existence.
The giant smelter stack that looms over the city of Anaconda was shut down permanently 45 years ago, forever changing the economy of Anaconda and Butte. But this massive monument to industry still has significance today.
3,200 people in Butte and Anaconda that lost their jobs on that day when they made that decision.
It was September 29th, 1980, when the Atlantic Richfield Company closed the smelter. The 580-foot tall stack is the largest freestanding brick structure in the world. At the time of its closing, the city considered demolishing it.
It was actually the residents of Deer Lodge County that went to the courthouse and asked, like, hey, this is really important. It's a huge piece of our history. It's such a testament to who we are. Can we keep it up? And the city eventually just relented and said, okay, we can keep it up. And now it's there in all its glory.
Since 1919, the stack spewed exhaust from the smelting of ore that was mined over in Butte.
I've heard people who lived here when it was operational say that there was just ash covering cars, houses, like all the time when the smelter was operational.
The closing of the smelter was soon followed by the closing of the open pit mining of the Berkeley Pit in Butte.
Basically ended mining in Montana as we had known it for 100 years. It kind of ended unions at that point too, because in order to reopen the mines, they had to reopen the mines as a non-union mines.
The Stack is now a curiosity that attracts tourists to the Smelter City, and each year Anaconda hosts the Smelterman's Day, where people can get an up-close look at the Stack.
Kind of all that we are. It's what we're known for. It's what built the town into what it is today. I don't know that we would still be standing and where we are today if it wasn't for the smelter. And
in Anaconda, John Amy, MTN News.
The Queen City is known for its rich history, from the gold rush beginnings to our cultural landmarks. The Helena community continues to honor its past while helping to shape our state's future.
From sites like Temple Emmanuel that are important to Montanans' identities, to mansions like these, Preserve Montana's offering Montanans the opportunity to explore some of Helena's most historic places.
And the idea is that we have this history around us every day. We walk by it, we drive by it. We may not recognize it, but it's really a piece of the character of Helena, which is really steeped in the history of Montana.
The Uncovering Helena's Hidden History Tour is entering its 5th year, with new sites added each year. Now, this year, well-known classics like the Myrna Loy and Grand Street Theater are on the list, but also lesser-known historic treasures like a miner's house and the Baxendale Schoolhouse, with historic property ambassadors at each location.
Historic buildings and preservation of them in the history really brings us a sense of place. It really helps us understand the authenticity, the uniqueness of the place that we live, that we visit.
And maybe the best part, the tour is navigated at your own pace through the Explore Montana app, downloadable on both Apple and Android devices. All proceeds from the event support protecting Montana's historic places, traditional landscapes, and cultural heritage.
And this allows people to really see those stories, see those curious spaces and the hidden pieces that we walk by every day but we may not know too much about.
Now, this historic tour will take place on Saturday, September 27th from noon to 5 p.m. You can visit this story on our website to get your tickets. Reporting in Helena, Madeline Heath, MTN News.
We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Positively Montana. I'm Hallie Schwinard, and we'll see you right back here next week.